What is up? What is up, people of today? What is up? High value software engineers, welcome to another stream. And the music is too loud in my ears. What is up? World Cup and all that stuff, man. It's crazy. People are watching the World Cup, man. We don't have time. We don't have time. Because we are the Netflix of programming, like I told you. Yeah, I need to do some stuff. Wait, let me quickly tweet the world that I'm online. Tweet the world that I'm alive. Tweet the world that we're gonna do shenanigans. Maybe the music is a little bit too loud. I have no clue. Let me know. Let me know everything. Let me know how you feel. How is your day? How is your week? How is your weekend? What's going on here? Ice Bear, what is up, my man? Welcome. Look at this thing. Here, you may ask, what is this on your head the whole fucking time? Look at this. What is that? It's a pimple from back in the days. It's a scar. You know what I mean? It was when I was younger. I was squeezing, and I squeezed too hard, and I need to live with it for the rest of my life. It is what it is sometimes, man. Hey. Wait, just a second. My dog, what is he doing? He's doing nothing. Alright, so today we're gonna create Tasker. Yes, and the reason why is because I also did a video about context package. And to be honest, if you need to do these functions and if you need to do that stuff in Golang, it can take some boilerplate, right? You need to do all that stuff. You need to handle all these things. What if we, and especially right now with these genetics, especially right now when Go has genetics, we can do amazing stuff, right? And let's see what we can build. My hands are cold, like usual. But inside, I'm on fire. Haha, wait, what's going on here? Zoomcast. Yes, no, that's too big. It's top right. This one is better, right? You see? Big Anthony, small Anthony. What's the time in Belgium? It's 7:30 p.m., which basically 7:30. 7:30 in the evening. Yes. So I'm gonna create a package, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a new folder. Do we want a new folder? What I can do is basically write everything in main, and after that, because I want a main function just to test things out. Yeah. And then after all, we're gonna delete the main and yeah. Tinker Bay, that's a long time. Tinker Bay, what is up? Let me first live stream. I can continue to watch. Tinker Bay, man, it's a long time no see. Man, I was calling the cops almost. I need to cancel this message. Where is my cell phone? Wait. Need to warn the cops that it's fine. Tinker Bay is found. He's back. Alright, so I also increased my font size, so I could be a little bit rusty because it's huge, right? For you guys, it seems, oh, now I can finally watch. And actually, to be honest, normally I use in my new videos, I'm using zoom level 2. But to be honest, if I do this, that's good for these small videos, but for a stream, this is huge. This is really huge, man. This is insane. This is already much bigger. So if you cannot read this, so I'm so sorry, but then you're blind. Then you're literally, then you need to go to a doctor. You need to do some stuff. Sandeep Jadonan. Hi, Anthony. How's it going? Hey, Sandeep. I'm fine. Actually, today's a good day. Well, it was not a good day until now. Not sure what happened. I drank a lot of water. Maybe it's something to do with it. I don't know. Alright, so we're going to create Tasker. So why do we need Tasker? Why do we need that? Well, listen. I made a video actually. But still, OCD of the mic kicking in once again. If somebody has pills for that, please let me know. Yeah, so for example, we have this. Let me... Mouse OCD also kicking in. So we have this function, for example, fetch data, something like this, right? And it will return, like I already did in the video. We're gonna have a string or an error like this, right? And we're gonna sleep here. Time milliseconds times, I don't know, 500 something. And then we're gonna return, for example, wait, it's my keyboard now. It's the Windows stuff. Up, fixed. Where's this fetch data? We're gonna return foo, right? And then we're gonna return an error which is null, right? So if you wanna, let's say this is an HTTP handler, right? This func main, and you wanna somebody does a request and you wanna fetch data, but you do, it's maybe the fuck's going on? Maybe it's a third party. I'm so sorry, guys, but my setup is scuffed, and it's a third party library, and you want to do something like, for example, fetch data or something, right? And then you're going to say the value, the error is going to be fetch data, right? But you want to do it as in a Go routine, so then you need to say Go func, just like that. Hop, wait, like this, and a Go func, but then you cannot access these values, right? So what you need to do is you need to make a channel. You need to make a response channel. It's gonna be make me. Yeah, you see, I'm not gonna type it completely. Wait, maybe we should. Right, maybe we should. Maybe we should. Maybe we don't. I don't know. It's gonna be a struct, just like that. I'm gonna say the value is gonna be a string in this case. I'm gonna have an error, which is an error, just like this. And then you're gonna say make me a channel of response. Like this, we're gonna buffer this for the buffer channel OCD guys, which also exist. Right, we have this response channel, and then we need to say yo. Wait, val, no, please. And then we need to say response channel, right? And we need to pipe in a response. You can see where I'm going, right? It's a lot of shenanigans in your function, right? So let's say we can make this a little bit cleaner. Let's delete all that stuff because we don't gonna need this anymore. Let's say we could do something like we have this fetch data, right? And because maybe it's compatible with the context package, you could say something like say it's going to be a context, because context is very important because you're going to use that in a lot of companies. Everybody's using it. A lot of libraries are supporting it. Context is very important. So we're going to say a context inside of this guy. You don't need to do anything with it. You could actually just say, I don't need to use it, but I'm going to support it for whenever we need it. And let's say we could do something like spawn. I was thinking about this. Spawn fetch data. Something like that. And then we could say it's going to return a task or something like this, T, right? And then we could say that the value, the string, and the error is basically T await. Just like that. You know what I mean? And you could also say, yo, but T cancel or something if you want. And you could also say, for example, spawn with timeout. Timeout. And we could say something like mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are back. Need to be careful. Time. Second. No, what am I doing? Millisecond. Microsecond. It doesn't matter, right? At the duration in this guy, right? Something like that. And it will handle everything for us. What do you think? Moshago, what is up, man? Moshago, especially for you, making buffer channels today. So that's something what I wanna do. And see if it can make any sense, because I think I would use that library if that exists, if I'm making this, right? And back in the day, it was not a good idea to implement that, because this value coming from TAwait, which we're gonna implement, that would be an interface, right? But not anymore, because we have generics. That's the good part of all that stuff. Moshago, thanks for the feedback, man. Much appreciated. All right. Cool. And I'm gonna do this with a main package main, but we're gonna make it a package itself so we can post it to GitHub and use it. All right. So what we're gonna do, first of all, I think I'm gonna make something like a TaskFunc, like this, and this TaskFunc is gonna have a type T any, right? And there's gonna be a function. Was distracted by the music. There's gonna be a function. Good question. CTX. We're gonna a context. It needs a context. We need to make it we're gonna handle a lot of context boilerplate ourselves, but we need to support context. We're gonna inject the context and all that stuff. That's what we're gonna do. And I hear you already think, but how are we going to provide values inside of this generic function? You will see. I have a solution for everything. And we're going to return a type T and an error, right? So we're going to say type T. So basically the user can actually return whatever the fuck he wants and an error, right? This could be a string. It could be a tuple, not a tuple. It could be a struct with multiple values, right? If you need to return 20,000 values, you could make a struct with 20,000 values in it, right? That's our TaskFunc. Or maybe we're going to say TaskerFunc. TaskFunc is fine, right? Cool. So the next thing we're going to make is a function. And it's going to be a spawn. But we're going to make a couple spawn functions, right? We're going to make, let's make a spawn small caps, internal. That cannot be imported. We're going to say spawn with a CTX. I think. We probably need to do some stuff. And then we're going to say we're also going to spawn a T, which is going to be a TaskFunc. I think we need to say spawn with T, any. A TaskFunc T. Is that a thing? Yeah. And it's going to spawn a task. A pointer to a task. Look at this. How clean. We don't have a task. Let's make one. Task is going to be a structs. We're going to have a response channel. Response channel is going to be... Do we want the response to be public? No, we don't. That's the first time I make a private struct, by the way. What the hell? Long time no see. We're gonna make a response, and it's gonna be a response of T. Look at this. This is so clean. This is gonna be the cleanest. This is gonna be so clean. It's going to be so clean. It's gonna be illegal. It's gonna have a val of T and an R. I think. Yeah. It's gonna be a chan of response. Do we want a pointer? Maybe we want. Do we need a task T? Task T any? What's going on here? Help me. A task T. Yeah, like I said, my font is so big that it's insane. But hey, everything for you. Where's this? What's going on here? This needs to be an any here. This needs to be a struct there. And is the response going to be a response T? Just like that. What is up, Doston? Welcome to the club of the high value engineers, where we come together to abstract and absorb all the information so we can raise our paycheck with an incredible amount. That's my slogan. Nice, huh? And when I say with an incredible amount, and when I say with an incredible amount, I say with an incredible amount. At least 3 times, 2 times what you earn now, which basically means 180 to 200k a year. And that's no lie. That's legit no lie. I can prove you that. I can prove you that. Okay, so we have this task thingy. We're gonna return the task, but now we need to do some stuff, right? We need to be careful. How are we gonna do this? I'm gonna make a channel. Look at this, Moshago, especially for you. It's gonna be a chain of response. And we're gonna say 36. 32 actually. Response T. Man, what is this generics, man? Oh, these T's are over everywhere. It's T. Chunk Spiggle. Why does Anthony look like George and Pierre? Because I am the George and Pierre. It is what it is. I'm jacked as fuck. And if you don't believe me, I can. I have my sweater on. I can show you some pictures. I am legit George and Pierre. But I don't take ice baths. You know? I don't take ice baths. And I'm not as flexible as that guy. And he will probably clap my cheeks. But besides that, the middleweight champ. I'm the middleweight. I'm the double champ. No, that's true. I'm actually one class. I'm 75 kilograms, which is basically how many pounds is that? Double? 140? Is that? 150. 150 lbs maybe. Man, I drank too much water and now I need to pee once again. This is crazy. But I will basically... Genetics is a bit confusing. It is confusing for me. I'll just make sure that the compiler is happy and is the compiler happy, then it's fine. So we have this response. It's going to be so amazing. I swear to God, I have it all in my... I'm a visionary. I have this package already in my head. It's imprinted inside of my brain. And this is going to be the next big thing. Who knows? So but this is going to be a fun thing to do, right? So it's going to be a response channel. Yeah, wait. So what we're going to do then? Then we're going to say... Oh, guys, I have it. We're going to say go func. Hop. Do some shenanigans. And then we're going to say that the value error is going to be tasker, which is T. We pipe in this context. And we're going to say if the error... We don't care about the error. We're going to say response. We're going to pipe in a response. We're going to write a response into this thing. Oh, this looks so sexy. Look at this. And we're going to say that the val... Actually, I'm going to make it value. I don't know why, but hey. What's going on here? Yes. The value is going to be val. And then the error is going to be r. Alright? It's going to be a pointer to a response for some reason. And it's going to be a pointer of a response T. Of some reason. That's fine. That's fine. And then we're going to just let that function go in the wild. And then we're going to say, we're going to return a task. Right? Wait, do we really want this response to be a pointer? Maybe. I don't know. Is it? Because why should it be a pointer? Because we want to... I don't think it's going to... I'm going to delete the pointer. Deleting the pointer. Because it could be that it holds some data, but we don't want to modify it. If we need a pointer, we're going to make it a pointer, but we don't need a pointer. So and that's the name of the game. If you don't need a pointer, don't use a pointer. Sometimes I'm using pointers so I can return nil. That's actually a very bad practice, but because I like to use nil instead of a default value of a struct, I'm using a pointer. But to be honest, that's not a good practice, because if you can avoid pointers, avoid them. Unless you have like a 1 gigabyte of struct values inside of it, then you can use a pointer. So we're going to say return a task. We're going to say end task. I'm going to make that a pointer. I don't know why. We're going to return this task, right? And this task is going to have as a response channel. Not quite sure why we need. Yeah, we need that. Response channel. It's going to be the response channel. Just like that. Task T. Okay, this is our internal spawn, because we're going to make a couple of spawns. We're going to say spawn with timeout, spawn with context, spawn normally. So let's make a spawn. Just like that. T, any. No context, we're going to say T is going to be a TaskFunc. TaskFunc of T. And then we're going to return a task, which is going to be a task of T. Hop. And then actually it's very simple. because here we can just return the internal function spawn with t. No, it's not true because we need a context. We're gonna say that the CTX is gonna be just a context background, just to provide some context, something like that, right? Yeah. Why do you made a pointer channel to response? Any reason? Oh yeah, I just covered that. No reason. No reason at all. So that's why I removed it. No reason to have a pointer. Maybe you could use a pointer because you don't know what the user is going to place into that, right? Because it's going to have a response and we don't want to copy that stuff, but we don't need to copy that stuff, so it's fine. If you're going to use this thing in a lot of other functions, you could make it a pointer because you don't know what the user is going to return. And if this user is going to return a big chunk of data inside of a structure, we don't know. Maybe he's fetching the whole fucking Google and put it into that response thingy. And we are copying that stuff all over the place. Then you could use a pointer because then you only need to carry away 8 bytes instead of, I don't know, a couple gigs, right? Pointers 8 bytes. Pointing to memory. Alright, this is very simple. So I'm going to say, we have this fetch data, okay? And I know this fetch data is not... Normally you could have something else inside of this function. Doesn't matter. Pointer will create chaos. Yeah. Pointers creating chaos, that's true. Okay, so we're going to say, our task is going to be spawn. What's going on here? Spawn... fetch data. And we don't need to do this because it's going to inject this thing. Look at this, right? Let me do something like a start that we can actually do some stuff. Time, now. FMT. Println. Print a line. Is it again this keyboard, man? How can I delete? It's going to international and I don't need it. I need the American thing. We're gonna say took maybe. Time. Gonna be since. Start. Like that. Right, we're gonna say t await. Oh, we don't have an await function. This task func t task. It's gonna be a pointer. No questions asked. Why? Okay, we're gonna say await, right? Await. And we're gonna do some cancellations. Yeah, it's gonna be so good, guys. It's gonna be so good. And that's gonna return, basically, it's gonna return. Oh, I see. Look at this generics. T. Any? Is that? Oh no, we know. Oh, no. We know what T is because any here. Yeah. We're gonna say await. Yes, fine. And it's gonna return T and an error. This is so good. This generics of Golang, this is the first time. This is actually making a lot of sense. And the only thing we're going to do is we're going to return the response channel. Wait. We're going to do a for select. Look at this. T. No. Case response of this T response channel. Yeah. You're gonna return. We're gonna return response value, response R. Yes. And we're gonna also wait for a done. CTX done. We don't have a CTX. That's no problem because we're gonna put the CTX into this task. Yeah. It's gonna be. Is that? Is that true? That's true. Because it's gonna have look at this, Moshago. What am I doing? Look at this. With all your feedback. Oh yeah, pointer channel. Yeah, I see. No, it was just a response. Okay, I need to do a CTX. We're gonna be that CTX, but we're gonna wrap it with a pattern CTX, right? Something is not quite right. Something is not quite right, actually, I think. I'm gonna say T await. Right, and it's gonna be... And now the only thing we need to do is basically... it's a value which is a string, and an error is gonna be T await. Look at this, is nice, right? And we could say... it could be that it's not gonna work, but we're gonna make it work, for sure. We force these things. We're gonna say the value, or the result, actually. It's gonna be val, right? And we could say if r is not null. I'm gonna log fatal this r. Sergey, what is up? Sergey Telpuk, what is up, my man? Welcome. Python drops. Great job, my man. Keep it up. Thanks, Python drops. Thank you. Welcome to the club of the high value software engineers. Okay, something I want to do is basically, yeah. Let's test this out real quick if this is gonna work. Not quite sure. Go run me.go. It's working. 500 milliseconds. That's true, right? Because this takes 500 milliseconds, and the only thing we need to do in our code is this. So the only thing we need to do is spawn some function that basically satisfies the TaskFunc, and then we just can call await. And here we can do whatever the fuck we want, and then we can just call await, and we have instantly our value and an error without any boilerplate. What kind of world is this? Right, so a couple things we need to do, right? So for example, we need to cancel that stuff and all that good stuff. So what we're gonna do is, and with a timeout, let's make a timeout first. So we have this spawn. This is our internal function. Nobody can access this. We can because we're in the same package, but later on people can because they're gonna go get this from GitHub. So we're gonna say func. We're gonna say spawn with timeout, something like that, or spawn timeout. What do you think? With timeout or timeout? Maybe with timeout. That's maybe clean. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a T any. We could say it's gonna be a T TaskFunc. Yeah. TaskFunc T like this. Then you're gonna say a time. It's gonna be a D, not the D, but the duration, right? And then that's gonna return the same thing, a task T. And then we could actually say something like this, ctx r, no, what am I doing? Cancel. This is already a problem, right? Because we cannot use this cancel. We're gonna fix that later on, right? We could say to do handle the cancel. Maybe. Maybe. Handle the cancel, that's fine. We're gonna see. You're gonna say it's gonna be a context with timeout. Gonna be a context background or something like this, yeah. And I'm gonna say D. Right, and then we're gonna actually say spawn return. We're gonna say return spawn ctx and then the D. Like that. No, not the D, what am I doing? The tasker. The tasker, of course. Right. And you can already see that we have an error here. Well, not an error, but there's a warning that we don't use this cancel. We need to, I guess. Alright. And we're already handling this this DOM in our thingy. Is it okay to make a func return ctx? I have no clue, Mosago. I think why not? I cannot come up with a use case why it could be, but why not? I mean, there is no, like I said, there is not really a good thing and a bad thing in programming. A lot of people have this idiomatic way of programming, and I understand that we need to have some kind of guidelines. I understand that, because otherwise it will be the land of the free. But I think a lot of people are also, that's what I'm trying to basically a little bit break out of, because a lot of people, a lot of new developers, they come into an environment, and we can discuss this if you want. You can disagree with me, but a lot of people come into this new space, this new developing space, programming space, communities, and the first thing they will hear is you need to do this, and it needs to be like that, and you cannot do this, and that's idiomatic, and your code is trash, and this, and blah, and that, and that's the only thing they hear. So these guys are scared, the new programmers are scared of thinking outside of the box, coming up with new ways of doing things, because like I said, there is no such as if your code is working, there is no such thing as something that's bad or good. But because everybody is focusing so much, because some kind of a scrub invented some way of doing things, everybody needs to do it like that. You know what I mean? How much millions did you make? None. So shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? We can do whatever we want. And all these new programmers coming into an environment that prohibits them, that blocks them from being creative by shoving idiomatic ways in their asses, and they are so scared of doing something wrong on their job, so they will never learn, they will never be elite, because they are not creative anymore, because they don't let them be creative, right? And I don't care if somebody has a good feedback, then I will say, hey, thanks for letting me know, and I will adjust it. But besides that, I'm just doing things my way. It's my way. You know what I mean? And that, by doing this, that opens up for me a new spectrum. That opens up a new spectrum where I'm trying to solve things in my own way. And sometimes it gives me new insights, more logical connections, because I'm not blocked by people watching behind my neck telling me what to do. I hope this is clear. I hope this helps you. That's what I'm thinking. Because when I just started programming, it was not that community. It was not that space. It was a little bit more relaxed, right? You could do, and that's why C programmers are so good, because you can do whatever you want there. They can be so creative. Each C program is differently written. Actually, you need to look at Redis, look other C programs. People are doing the most crazy things, but these guys are completely open-minded, you know. And now Rust and Java's, and you need to do this, and that's, oh man, so crazy. I hate these guys, man. I really hate them. All right, and I have no clue what I was doing. Yes, this context thingy, right? Cool. So what we're gonna do is instead of saying spawn, we're gonna say spawn with timeout, right? And we're gonna say fetch data. That's fine. And we're gonna cover this function, because sometimes you will have a function that takes data, right? We're gonna fix that. You're gonna decorate. You need to think about this as a HTTP handler, a handler func. This is a spawn func. It's gonna be the new meta. I'm setting the meta, guys. Listen. If I play League of Legends or some other game, I'm just setting my own meta. I don't care what pros do. I just do my own thing. Because if it works for me, if I'm 21, carrying the game, You know what I mean? I don't care, right? I'm just clapping cheeks. That's what I'm doing. With some build. I'm not in the LCS, so I can build whatever I want. Alright, so fetch data. A timeout. You're going to say time, milliseconds, times, I don't know, 100 or something. So it's going to be timing out instantly, right? Because it takes 500, but we're going to time out instantly. So what is it going to do? I don't know. Go run main.go. Context deadline exceeded. It works like a charm, you see. It's interesting, but not for production. You have a point. Sergey, you have a point there. I need to agree and I need to disagree, right? Of course, things I'm doing on my channel, a lot of things are demonstration purposes, right? And I don't want to make it too complex for new people, because a lot of time, new people coming in, making things complex will take away all, basically extract all their dopamine into their brain, and they will be so confused that they stop programming or stop learning a new language because it's too complex, right? But indeed, in production, you need to follow some kind of rules, right? You know what I mean? That you're true, but still, you're right there. But still, you need to give people the freedom to think outside of the box and try to come up with these new ways of doing things. You know what I mean? And production is also a scam. I run a company. I have founded multiple companies, and although a lot have failed, but not because of the tech debt. But the company I'm running right now is a very nice company, and we do things in production, and I think production is a scam. In production, you just make things work the best way you can, right? There's a big difference between this nice, clean tutorial code and production code, because everybody thinks that production is going, oh, in production everything is so nice, and no, no, it's not. In production, it's not. Trust me. Probably the code in your project is much more better and safer and securer than production code. Maybe if you work in big companies, but if you work in startups, my friend, it's on a whole other level. You just need to make things work. People are putting pressure on you, so it's a complete different beast. But you learn a lot. Okay, so yes, this is working, right? So we get this context. Yes, that's fine. And we did not need to do anything, right? It's just this error getting this nice context deadline exceeded. That's fine. So you see, there is no boilerplate at all, because this is all the boilerplate. We are actually abstracting that in this thing, which makes me happy. So let's say we do, for example, 600, right? This basically means that we're going to be on time. Boom, yeah, foo, fine. Working perfectly fine. Casey, what are you working on? We are working on a tasker. I'm going to call it tasker. It's basically a library that will handle a lot of boilerplate that comes with creating functions that you need to spawn in Go routines. For example, you want to call, for example, in trading, you want to fetch order book. Wait, fetch BTC order book or something from FTX. I don't think that's going to return anything. So we're going to say from Binance or something, I don't know. Or maybe from Nash, the company I worked for, Nash.io. I'm going to do like this. That's going to take, that function is basically a library function, right? And you're going to spin that up in a Go routine because you want to do other work. You want to get the order book for BTC. You want to get the order book for whatever other coin. You want to do some, I don't know, fetch some other things. And you're going to spin all these things in a Go routine. And then you need to sync all that stuff. So you need to do a lot of boilerplate here, right? You need to do context cancellation, and you need to use channels to get these values out of, where is this Go routine? Yeah? To get these values out of your Go routine. And this task, this library will make it so easy that it's illegal. The API is down. Yeah, I see. Xavier Moya. That's crazy. Are you the brother of Hosmoya? What's going on? Wait, let me quickly check. Oh. Ahu. Oh, okay, I'm so sorry. It's your names, man. You guys and your nicknames. My senior is forcing me to do retarded things. Today in a little part of code, I need to get the first letter of any string. I used variable. Oh, yeah. But he forced me to use strings join. Strings join? But the first... Yeah, if you check the length of your string, and then you take the first letter as an index, why not? I don't see any problem, but you need to check the length of your string, so you don't have any index out of range shenanigans, right? If your string is empty. But yeah, like I said, I mean, I worked in a lot of companies. I did a lot of things in my life, and I failed at basically almost everything, right? I got fired a lot of times because I want to do things my way, because I'm a very outspoken person, very authentic, and I stay true to myself. And I don't care if you're the king, if you're my PM, if you're my boss. I don't literally care. I don't care. If you're talking bullshit, you're talking bullshit. You know what I mean? If you're right, you're right. But if you're for me, every person on this planet is equal, right? I will not have more respect for somebody that's a cleaning lady or for somebody that drives a fucking Ferrari. You know what I mean? I will have more respect for the cleaning lady. Everybody needs to prove himself. I need to, hey. But if they're right, they're right. That's the thing. If you're right, you are right. I will be the first one to take feedback, ask my community. Some people come into my Discord and they say, hey, Anthony, your video was great, but shouldn't you do this? And this is maybe not good. And I say, hey, you're right. My bad. You know? Everybody makes mistakes, right? All right, so fetch data. What's going on here? What did we do? Why this is not working anymore? Oh yeah, fetch BTC or the book from Nesh.io. All right, function names, eh? Okay, so that's working. What I want to do next is basically, I want to make it default, right? So we have this context that's coming from yeah, no, Xavier Moya, there is somebody that looks with the same name as you, but a little bit different, but it's not. It's my bad. Wait, I'm looking for a way. Ah, yeah, here. We make this. We could say CTX. We're gonna make a default cancel, right? We're gonna wrap this into a cancel here, and we're gonna say it's gonna be a context with cancel. Right, and we're gonna say this. We're gonna wrap that CTX that we already have in it, and that's it, right? And then we're gonna actually. I have a good idea, because we cannot do anything with this cancel here, but we have this task key, and we're gonna say cancel, which is gonna be, I think, a context cancel func. Yeah, you see this, man? I didn't even know that this existed, but I could derive it because Golang is so ideal. Everybody is, I mean. The whole standard library is written in such a way that you can derive all these stuff, right? Because they do, in all these packages, they do the same. So I would think, oh, it's going to be a cancel func. Just like a handler func or something else. That's why we call it a task func. So this task is going to have a cancel. Wait, what am I doing? I make a mistake. I'm going to copy this, go to the top. Paste it in here. I'm gonna say this is gonna be cancel. Yes. And this cannot be the same, right? We cannot use this context to get this cancel. That's not possible, so we need to make it different. Different variable for this, and then oh yeah, here this cancel is gonna be the cancel. Yeah. Right. And then what we could do is we could make another function to make this library clean. I'm going to say func t pointer to a task cancel, which is going to be, what's going on here? Help me. Man, I was on fire and suddenly I make a mistake. Task. Man, I'm choking. But this, like I said, my font size is so big on my screen, especially for you guys. Oh, it's going to be a task T. And then we're going to say T cancel. We're going to just call the cancel from that thingy. If you return the CTX and defer cancel, you will kill the context. Yeah, I cannot use it, right? So we're gonna put this. Oh yeah, it's the same thing. Oh yeah, cancel. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's why I'm not doing it here, right? So where are we? Here. So we make this cancel. We cannot do anything here because if we cancel it, it will kill the context. So done is getting called instantly, or not even called because it's not even we not even call await. So that's a problem. So we're going to put this here, this cancel function, no big of a deal. And I think it will also solve this problem here, but I'm not sure. I think so, because we can cancel. Right, so what this, listen, so this is going to basically do a 500 HTTP round trip, right? A 500 millisecond HTTP round trip replication. We're going to mimic that, right? So it's 500, boom. Right, everything is fine. But if we say task, right? You could say task, right? Let's make it task. We're going to say task cancel. Okay, we can call cancel with small caps here, but we're not going to call. We cannot call this in our if we import this as a library, right? So we're going to call this function cancel, and then I'm going to call this task, so it's a little bit cleaner, right? And then what you could do is go run main.go, and it should instantly cancel, right? You see, context canceled, easy, right? So this gives us the option to cancel this task whenever we want. That gives us the option to cancel it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that's fine. Cancel is working. Of course, I think we need to do more use cases to see where this library is shortcoming. And we can extend this, and we can extend this into something very nice. I think this could be a very nice package. I actually don't know if something already exists like this, but I think in Go you do not always need to use packages, right? In Go, the best approach is to try to solve it with the standard library. But in my opinion, to be honest, guys, if you're doing these functions, look, there is a lot of boilerplate going on in context, and I think that's the reason why people are avoiding context, because it's too much boilerplate, it's too much hassle, and you need to too hard to read sometimes. People have no clue what's going on. But if you use this library, it will do this in an idiomatic way behind the scenes for you. And if you want, you can actually extend this with your own context, I think. Right, so the next thing I want to cover is this. This is a TaskFunc, right? Because we said TaskFunc is something with a context, so we can inject the context, because then this function will already have an idiomatic thing, which is a context, the first argument, right? Because then you can extend your context here, right? You can extend in your function. For example, you need to do fetch other data, right? Other data, something, I don't know. Fetch other, which is also something, and you want to pass in a context, but you want to do a value, so you could say context is going to be context with value or something, right? We need to support that. That's why I'm doing this. Why I'm injecting a context you can extend. So we're going to wrap the parent context, and I'm going to say key. Actually, that needs to be. Go doesn't like that it's a string, but a. And you're going to say value, for example. It could be 1, right? And then you can pass in this context in this other function which does not exist, right? Okay, but let's say we have something else, right? We have a function fetch user from slowdb or something, right? And we're going to say it's going to have a context, right? Because that's what we do idiomatically. If you wanna be a context boy, it's going to be a context, right? And also a user ID, right? It's going to be an integer, and then it will return, I don't know, a string, a user object or something. You could say, hey, what's going on here? You could say type user struct, right? Just to mimic, right? I'm going to say actually a pointer to a user, so we can return null and all that stuff, right? And an error, right? Okay, cool. Let's return nil and an error. Actually, nil. to satisfy the compiler. So yeah, but how are we going to use this fetch user from slowdb? It will not work in our spawn, right? In our spawner. Let's make it just a simple spawn like this, so we can actually so much like in VS Code. I'm gonna lie. So we're gonna say fetch user from the slowdb, right? It's not gonna work. Why? Because fetch user from slowdb is not a tasker. It's not a TaskFunc. How are we gonna fix that? Well, what we're gonna do is basically say here. Wait, this is the other function. Fetch user from slowdb. Yeah. So that's a user ID, right? And you could actually do it like this. If you don't have a context, it doesn't matter. You don't need a context. That's the beauty of this package. That's the beauty of Golang. And look at this, guys. What you're gonna do is, instead of returning this wait, I need to think. Yeah. We're gonna delete this, and we're gonna say there's gonna be a TaskFunc. We're gonna return a TaskFunc of t. The only thing we need to specify is what is our function going to return. That's very important. We need to specify the return argument. The error is something that we always gonna return because that's what I want everybody to return in this function. So important in Golang. So nobody needs to adjust that, right? We're gonna force it by the library. We're gonna force good practices. Hey Buffer, what is up, man? What is up, Buffer? Always happy to see you. You're one of the OGs, right? I think Buffer was here in my channel when I was still with 2 people or something. I'm not quite sure how many people are on the stream right now. I don't see that. I'm performing right now is what I performed when I was with 1 or even 0 viewers. And that's why some people stick with my channel, because a lot of new, and that's maybe a tip if you want to do some streaming later on, or you want to make some videos or streaming on YouTube or on Twitch. In the beginning, you're gonna have 0 viewers, but you need to delete your screens with the viewer count. You need to pretend as if there were 100 people watching. You need to look into the camera, tell something also, even though there is nobody. Because if there's a viewer in your channel, he's gonna be hooked, right? Because a lot of people are checking their numbers on the screen like, oh, there is nobody. I'm just going to code until there is somebody. But there is lag. There is a lot of lag on that thing. It's not, maybe there are, YouTube is showing you 0 viewers, but maybe there are already 3. But you don't know that. And then these guys are dipping out because you're just sitting there like a dead mosquito. You see what I mean? So always perform. Very important. I know it sounds silly, but it doesn't matter. Okay, fetch user from slowdb. We're going to return a TaskFunc. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this thing into a func. What's going on here? We're going to say func ctx. Right, we're going to say TaskFunc. So we're going to return a TaskFunc. It's decorating. It's called decorating. We don't need anything here. This is going to return a type t. Which actually, I think we can use a user. Wait, I'm gonna try to force this. Pointer to a user. And an error. I'm a little bit confused, guys, not gonna lie. How are we gonna do this? I know it works. I know for sure it works. I swear to God, I'm gonna fit it in until it works. I think, can we not say that it's gonna return a user? No, we can't, right? This is bullshit. What am I doing? This needs to be a T, right? A T any, or maybe a T, right? A T. Yeah, of course, because it's the. Or don't we need to do anything? Wait, how is this working? gonna work for sure. I swear to God. How? That's impossible. This is impossible. This is impossible. This is impossible. Yay! Of course, we need to. You need to specify what the TaskFunc is. That's the only thing we need to do is specify a return type, right? That we know that from the beginning here. That we need to specify what we're gonna return. That's Golang. You need to do that. And is that the only thing you need to do? Oh my God, this is insane. Yeah. This is fine. This is fine. So we're gonna sleep 500. That's fine. And then we can do here, right? We can say fetch user from slowdb. You could say the user ID is gonna be, I don't know. What's a good user ID? Maybe today it's I don't know what day it is because I'm gonna say 69. It's I don't know. Tuesday. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? We're gonna spawn, but we can spawn this, right? Do we want a CTX? No, we don't have a CTX. It's just user ID, right? User ID. Okay, why is this not working? Do we need to say there's gonna be a user? Or what is this? No, we don't. I'm gonna check what's going on. Carrot in 30. Yeah, I know. I know, my friend. Look at this. I think we have some redundancy in these types. I don't know what's going on. Tinker. Oh my God, Tinker is banned out. It's timed out. Why? Tinker, can you, if you can hear me, can you let me know what you did? Because I think Nightbot is a little bit too 69, man. That's that's the thing. Let me know what you did, what you typed before you get timed out. Because Nightbot is, man, this guy's clapping. He's clapping cheeks for no reason at all. And a couple streams ago there was an invasion of these guys. I think it were Russians, which is okay, right? It's fine that you're Russian. But they were talking Russian. They were spamming the chat, and Nightbot couldn't do anything. He was blocked. Nightbot was choking. Everybody was joking. It was crazy. And I was banning them myself and not timing them out. But they were so fast that I was misclicking these 3 dots. It was crazy. It was savage. It was a madhouse. Because I had no clue how to time out people. I'm legit. I'm a rookie. You know what I mean? I'm a streaming noob. So I was looking, where do I need to? It was crazy, man. All right, I think it's fine, guys. I think we're gonna let it run, right? So now we have this fetch user from slow from slowdb, which is gonna return a user. Actually, what I'm gonna do is maybe his name string or something. GG. And then we have this value, right, in our main. This is gonna be a user, right? User. You can actually username. Look at this. This is clean. This is so clean. Look at this task await. You could never do this before the generics. Then you need to cast this user to. Then you needed to do this, right? You need to say user needs to be pointed to a user, something like that. You needed to cast this. That was so nasty. But now it's Gucci. So clean, guys. This is so clean. Okay, so what can be the problem? Because can somebody come up with use cases? With problems? Better support for stuff? What can happen? Right, so let's make a use case. Let's make a use case. Let's make one, right? Okay. So what are we gonna do? How we? That's fine. Normally I do 2 to be cool, right? But I only need 1. But I only need 1, so we're not gonna do that. No clickbaits. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna say fetch a user from. I think we're already gonna have the user, right? So we're gonna say fetch the video I made, right? We're gonna say fetch user likes, right? Fetch user likes. The question is, are we gonna? The stream is not freezing, guys. The stream is not freezing. As long as the music is playing, the stream is not freezing. Yeah, I think fetch user likes. I think we can just do like a user ID, man. I mean, user ID is gonna be an integer. It's gonna return the number of likes, right? It's gonna be an integer. An integer and an error, right? And we're gonna mimic. You're gonna say time. You're gonna replicate some lag, right? Some HTTP round trip. You're gonna say time sleeps times milliseconds times 150 or something. Yeah, 150 is fine. Let's make 200. Let's make it a little bit, because actually 300 or 400 is good. So we can see that it's taking time. That's important, right? I'm gonna say return, I don't know, the devil, right? Like in the videos, I like the devil. Right, and then we're gonna copy this function. We're gonna paste that in, and we're gonna say fetch. What can we do? Fetch user. How do you recommendations? Is that a word? Maybe it's wrongly spelled. My bad. I don't know. A slice of string. I'm gonna say go. What could be a good recommendation? One night in Paris. That's a good recommendation. Maybe some people don't know what's going on. Look it up. I'm gonna explain it because I'm gonna get cancelled. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter. Yeah. So let's say we need to do that stuff. So we have a user ID. We're gonna spawn a task, right? And we could say user likes. And now we're gonna see. If we need to. I think we need to have some options so we can actually join. In Rust, you have futures join. But I swear to God, if you do this in Rust, oh my God. Try to use futures in Rust and you will literally hang yourself on a tree. I swear to God. I swear to God. Rust is a great language, but concurrency in Rust is legit just a pain in the ass. For me, at least. Maybe I'm just too used to Go and the simplicity of that, but it's so hard. I need to install all these packages. I need to install Tokyo. I need all that stuff because otherwise it won't. It's just, you're going to have a bad day. User likes is going to be an error. No, it's not. It's going to be user task. User likes. How are we going to call this, man? T user likes. Task user likes. Or task likes. User likes. It's going to be spawn. And we're going to spawn fetch user likes. And what is going to return? It's going to return us an int, right? We need to wrap that up, right? Because we need to have this. Well, what we also could do is we could we could fetch the user from the context, but that's I don't like that. I don't like that. If you don't want to wrap these functions in each other, if you don't want to decorate the function, I will show you what we could do. But that's nasty. That's I don't like that. So we're gonna say you're gonna return a tasker, right? So we're gonna say we're gonna return a TaskFunc, right? Of t. No, of int. Right, like this. Wait, what's going on? There's a lot of things going on. I know. So we're gonna say fetch user likes. What are we doing wrong? Cannot index. Am I indexing this? What am I doing here? Do actually okay. Hey, I'm happy. If compiler's happy, I'm happy. Let's comment this out real quick. So we're gonna fetch the user likes, the task user likes, right? Then we're gonna say the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna copy this. We're gonna say task. So this task user likes is basically we spawn that, right? And it will not block, right? It's a non-blocking operation. Spawn is a non-blocking operation. So directly after this spawn, we're gonna have task user. What is this? Recommendations. What am I doing here? Is it with double M? It feels so off. Is it like this? I think it's double. We're gonna spawn fetch user recommendations with the user ID. It's perfectly fine. Of course, we need to wrap that in, which is not gonna return an int. It's gonna return a slice of string, and it's gonna return a TaskFunc, right? TaskFunc of slice. A TaskFunc, right? Look at this. Look at this. Right. So basically, what happens is this guy. This slow DB shenanigans. Let's get these guys out of here. Right. So this guy will take 300 milliseconds. This guy will take 400 milliseconds. Let's do it like this to do the quick math. Right. So if we do this at the same time, in a synchronous way, how long will they take together? How long will our round trip, not our round trip, but how long will our function take if we do these in sync, right? Very simple, 600 milliseconds, right? Because we need to wait 200 milliseconds for the user recommendations to fetch them, and then we need to wait 400 milliseconds for the likes, which will be 600 milliseconds. But these two functions are not depending on each other, so that basically means that we can let them go and do their thing, and then we will synchronize, right? But I don't think, yeah, so that basically means that we need to have then we will have basically only 200 milliseconds we need to wait. No, 400, right? Because we can only go as fast as the weakest link, and this is the weakest link, this fetch user likes, which basically means that I think we already have a problem. I can already spot a problem in this case. Right, and then we could say, for example, that the likes or an error is going to be task user likes await, right? And we're going to say that the recoms and the R will be task user like this. We're going to wait for these tasks. I need to handle these errors, man. I'm gonna say log fatal error. What's going on here? Log fatal error, and then we're gonna copy. What's going on? Copy this, paste it in. problem is that in this case we're gonna block actually, right? We're not gonna solve our problem. This is not gonna solve our problem. We need to find another way to fix this. And if you can already see what I mean. Recommendation result. Comes. Right, this is not gonna work. That's a problem. Although we're gonna... You'll see what's going on. Look at this. Right? So it took us 400 milliseconds, right? So that's what we expected, right? But that's because we first did the small one. Look at this. Listen to this, right? If you do this. Dot go. Hey, it's... Of course it's gonna work, of course. What I was thinking if we... It's working! Wait. So it's no... I was thinking because... what's the slowest one? Fetch user like is the slowest one. Yeah, of course, because if we do first user likes, yeah, of course, because we do first user likes, it basically means that, although this will take 400 milliseconds, but this guy is already done, right? Because yeah. You see? It's just asynchronous, perfectly fine. That's crazy. And then we can say, for example, yeah, but the users likes, that's a third-party API. We need to fetch. We need to go to, I don't know, to some partnership stuff, and these servers are trash. And sometimes it is go fast, but sometimes maybe good, and sometimes maybe shit. You know. So you could say, yo, but this user likes, I'm gonna spawn with timeout, right? With timeout, for example. So we're gonna spawn this with a timeout. You're gonna say can only take time millisecond, for example, 200, right? Right, and if we run this, that takes 400 milliseconds, right? So we should, you see, boom, we got an error. We got this, and actually we could just print it out instead of a fatal. We could say fmt println. Did not fetched user likes because took too long. No, actually not. Did not fetch user likes because this. And then we still gonna fetch the other ones, right? You see? We did not fetch the user likes because the context deadline exceeded, because they're trash, but we have our recommendations, right? You know what I mean? So the front end can show something. The recommendations, but the likes are, I don't know, they need to refresh, for example. All right, this is nice, man. This is looking good. Okay, so another thing we need to do is basically, I have a good idea, good use case we can try. A very good use case. The next use case is, for example, that what could be a use case? But this should all... wait, let's say we could do something like this. It's a little bit scuffed, I know what I'm gonna do. But we could say if we get an error from the recommendations, right? Look at this, how clean. So let's say we are fetching the user recommendations. Println will... Is that... Am I learning something new? Ronnie Smith println will add a space between elements, by the way. Is that true? Is that true? I'm always doing this for years. How do you guys find this out? What kind of savage beast does this? This is my OCD. A column... And then this quote. Is that a thing? It is. Look at this. And if you do a space, Wait, let me do this. What am I doing? Then it does 2 spaces. Okay, I see. I never noticed this. Thank you so much, Ronnie Smith. I'm learning. This is crazy. Yeah, so what we could do is basically if we are fetching the recommendations, but for some reason we have an error, right? So we're going to return an error from these recommendations here. We're going to say errors new or something. I don't know. Bad news. Right. So if there is an error, right, what we could do is basically because we are fetching the user likes, we are fetching maybe some other stuff, and we can say, yo, but if this user recommendations, it's a very important one, it's critical, right? You could say the likes is not critical. Like in our previous example, if we cannot fetch the likes, we know that it's a partnership we do with some other shenanigans, and sometimes it's slow, so it doesn't matter. As long as we have the user recommendations, then we can show it on the screen in the front end, and the user likes is just a small number. Hey, if that's 0, it's not ideal, but we can live with that. But if we don't have the user recommendations, then we are in big trouble. So what you could do is cancel, right? We're gonna cancel the other task. So we could say, if we have a problem fetching the user recommendations, then we're gonna say task user likes cancel. But we need to call it here cancel like this, right? And normally it would be cancelled. The question is, how are we gonna... Yeah, of course, because we also return recommendations here, right? I know. Yeah, that's fine. You see, it's working, but it... Okay, I will do it because it's confusing. I understand. It's confusing. I'm gonna just return an empty string so everybody is up to speed, right? And you see what's going on. Go run main.go, boom. So you see, did not fetch the user likes because the context is cancelled. Yeah, of course we cancelled it, right? Because the user recommendations has an error, right? And actually we could print that out, right? You know the deal, right? I'm 100% sure you understand what's going on. So that's actually cool. Of course, I think I'm gonna add a lot of other stuff, but I need to play around with it. So what I'm maybe gonna do is actually make this. No, we don't need the folder because I'm gonna delete. I'm gonna delete the main and call it tasker like this, right? Later on. But I wanted to have this main to play around with it and show you guys the idea. All right. What could we do? What do you think we could do more? What do we need to test? Maybe we need to test some use cases so we can adjust the library a little bit. Because this thing, right, is to handle the cancel, but to be honest, I don't think we need to handle this cancel because we already have a cancel. Because this context, we are 100% sure that this context basically will be wrapped with a spawn, will be wrapped with this context, which will have a cancel. So we're gonna cancel that context. I think it's safe. I think it's safe to just ignore this, to be honest. Although Go gave us a warning. No warning anymore. But this is nasty, right? This is nasty. We're not gonna do that. Don't do that. You will get fired. Because I'm gonna... I don't think I have the code anymore. Because I want to show you what we needed to do for doing that stuff. It's in one of my videos. So if you think something that we need to do, that we need to try out, let me know so we can see. So we can see what's going on here. What is going on? And of course, hey, some marketing time for the people that are not subscribed to the channel and you like the content that I'm providing to you. Please consider subscribing to my channel. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a question in the comment. It does not need to be a question. Do something in the comments, right? Give me a heart, a thumbs up, or a strong man, or whatever kind emoticon you want to use. Jump into the Discord. That's very important because all the news will be shared there. All the cool stuff I'm going to do with the club of the high value engineers. You can all ask all your questions. I'm also helping people stop smoking weed, and it is insane. Who am I? I'm motivating you. I'm coding. I'm teaching you everything about business, but the real stuff, right? No fake guru stuff, real stuff. So jump into the Discord. Join the community. Farid, sorry man, I missed the video. I missed this video, as I'm still in watching progress of your previous one. We'll check this one later on for sure. Yeah. It's fine, man. Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, so in my previous video, basically in this aggregation stuff, we were doing the same thing. We were fetching these users, the user likes and user recommendations, and we needed to do a lot of stuff, and we didn't do cancellation there. So if you combine that video with the video of the context of today, you will see that there is a lot of boilerplate need to be written. But right now with this library, it's going to be easy. Yeah. Yes, and in the one of the next, I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'm gonna stream it, or maybe I'm gonna make a longer video about it. I have somebody in the community did a job interview, and just a second, I will grab it. I will look for it. Wait, what's going on here? Can I? Look at this guy. Look at this guy's ban. You can only do 6 emotes. Yeah, so I think it was in Golang or something. This one, right? So this was basically the assessment, right? And I asked him his permission if I could share it. So basically, the assessment was basically create a library for caching user information to increase database throughput and availability. Every request for user data should return the user information while simultaneously taking care of database throughput. It means the library should take care of unnecessary requests for user data if some are pending. To be honest, the way they actually describe this first thing is already, I don't know. But hey, that's how they do these assessments, right? They're trying to make it, they're trying to confuse you. So why? Let's say we have a bunch of user information identified by ID inside our main database. Simultaneously, there's thousands of requests per second for user information. We can consider that database is a bottleneck, right? This is not this grammatically bad, so I don't know what they are doing. To avoid that, we need cache mechanisms, right? Note, you can use any language, yada, yada, yada. Example, if with 1,000 requests, there are 100 unique users IDs. Wait, again, if within 1,000 requests, there are 100 unique user IDs, then there should be only a maximum of 100 requests into the database, but all 1,000 requests should get a response with the user data. Which is basically cache, implement the cache. That's the only thing they say, right? Implement the cache, right? I think that would be a nice one to implement, to solve, because you can see that it's already an interviewing question, so it would be nice that I can show you how I would implement this. We're not gonna use Redis cache and all that stuff. We're gonna implement our own cache and go to show you, because the only thing we need to do is solve this, right? The only thing we need to do is, there are a couple of things what he did wrong, right? He made his own implementation, and there are a couple of things he did wrong, right? And we're going to investigate that, and then I'm going to implement this, and we're going to clearly test that if we put 1,000 requests for 100 user IDs, we only gonna hit the database 100 times, right? And all the rest basically will hit the cache. But there is a lot of problem in here because there's not a lot of problem. There are a lot of side questions, but I think if you make these things over complex, they don't like that, right? They want to see a clean solution. Benjamin Lara, Golang noob here, getting frustrated with how to share code across my monorepo. Okay, elaborate, because I think this library stuff. Wait, let me open up thingy, right? I think this library stuff, I think we have the basics, and I hope, I think this is going to be an interesting video for a lot of people because it's a lot of generics, a lot of cool stuff we could do with these things. I think it would be fun to watch. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna publish this on GitHub, and I will keep iterating over this library and make it nice, so we can actually use that. I think I'm gonna use such kind of things because it saves so much time and so much boilerplate, right? And it solves it on in an idiomatic way. It just wraps context and all that stuff, right? Ronnie Smith, to solve that issue with cancel not being used, you could use the options pattern and have with timeout save a duration in the struct, then use with timeout in spawn. Yes, so I see what you mean. So actually, that's not too bad of an idea. You would say spawn. Yeah, I see what you mean. You could say spawn. I like this spawn, right? This spawn is basically just a clean spawn without any options, without any stuff. Just spawn me that function and done. I like that. But what you're meaning is something like func spawn me with ops or something, right? And then you could say t any. It's gonna be a t. It's going to be a TaskFunc of t. If you have, by the way, just go back to Benjamin Lara. Do you have some kind of a repo I could check? Or is it a private one? If it's a private one, then you don't need to share it with me. I respect that. But if it's a public one, share me the GitHub link and I'm gonna show it you right now. I'm gonna show you right now. For example, the folder is microservice. Man, this is Benjamin. I think you're doing a lot of things wrong, and I really want to help you. So if you can show me the code somewhat, that would be nice. If you don't want to do it on stream, no problem. I respect that. Send me a DM. You cannot send me a DM on Discord because we need to be friends. But add me on Discord, and we can discuss this privately. If you don't want to share it if you don't want to share it right now, and otherwise try to mimic some kind of a repo or some folder structure so I can see what you mean by that. It's private. Yeah, I understand completely. A couple things what I can see, Benjamin, is that first of all, if you're using microservices, you can never have a problem with folders, right? Because a microservice is an encapsulated piece of software where basically everything should be in your main folder. Maybe you could have a utils or something, a client package, because you make a microservice and then you implement a client for your microservice, which need to be imported by other people of your company. So then you have a client package so they can import that, right? And they can use your microservices with a client, JSON client, gRPC client, Thrift client, clients, you know what I mean? But you probably make one big monorepo where you have all these services inside. And they all have a main. They all have a package main or something. It's like an umbrella, right? An umbrella project, something like that. I really want to help you, Benjamin. It's wrong. It's very hard for me to infer what's going on. So if you can not share it, but maybe if you could mimic something, right? Quickly make a project and not need to be anything in these folders, right? But just sketch it out for me so I can help you. So basically back to Ronnie Smith. So basically spawn with ops, right? And you could say options, which could be, for example, a type task ops struct, for example, like that, where we're gonna say we have a timeout or something. Timeout could be a time duration, like this, right? Something like that, and then you specify the duration here, and then we could check if there is a duration, yada yada yada, and then spawn that instead of putting the duration right here, because then we need to create it here. But what kind of ops are we gonna use? What kind of ops are we gonna use? Maybe it is, right? Right now we have spawn with timeout, and we provide a duration, but maybe we wanna add other options. I have no clue what kind of options we would need, but maybe there are, and then we cannot create a function for each option. That would be savage. Or doing duration and, for example, a yada here and yada there, right? That would be nasty also. But like I said before, Ronnie, oh, you were thinking on ops on the task itself and having just a single spawn func. But yeah, but the thing is that spawn, these functions are getting called, right? These are just plain functions. They are not attached to anything, right? Because if we're gonna use this library, right? If people are gonna use this library, it's gonna be like this, right? So you're gonna import tasker, not import. Import GitHub yada yada tasker, and then they're just gonna say tasker spawn, right? That's the only thing they're gonna do, spawn. And for some reason I cannot, right? Just like that. There is no options need to be provided. Because tasker spawn will basically create a task inside of the spawn, right? Ah, I see what you... Oh, yeah, but then we need... No, yeah. But then we need... Then we still need this options in spawn, right? Or just a duration and put it in here. Oh, no, it was not task spawn. Yeah, I see what you mean. But I like the thinking of, I like your thought process basically about these options, because it's a very common pattern. That's true. It's a very common pattern, but like I said, if it's only for time duration. But like I mentioned before, this cancel, right? Although it's very important, right? Because look at this warning. The cancel function returned by the context with timeout should be called, not discarded, to avoid context leak. 100% agree, Mr. Compiler, but the thing is that we know exactly what we're gonna do with this one. Because we have a cancel here. And we wrap this context, this created context by us, not by a client, not by a user, not by a colleague. It's created by the library here. We put it in spawn, which we put it in here, and then we wrap that with another context with cancel. So that's fine, I think. I'm 100% sure that's fine. Where should be the context leakage? Wait. Wait. Yeah, I'm not quite sure about that. Wait, let me see. You see, I think if we check this, let me open up our main. It's actually a very nice study, to be honest. Look at this. So basically, my thinking process is, okay, we have this defer, this cancel, which normally we should defer. This can be canned because then the whole shebang is broken. But if we ignore this, so it will create a context with timeout, which basically spins up routines in itself, right? So if we don't cancel it, it could be that these Go routines keep, that's a problem, right? These Go routines will keep doing its stuff. So that's a leakage, right? If we spawn 1 million of these tasks and we don't cancel them, and we don't handle this here, then we will have thousands of these routines leaking, right? And nobody will know, right? It's like, nobody will know. So to fix that, We need to have this cancel, and we need to defer that, yada, yada, yada. But because we wrap this into a parent context here, I'm thinking that if we cancel it here, we're gonna defer it here, it will cancel the sub. It will cancel every... how do I say this? It will cancel everything, right? And I think it stays, right? We're calling deadline here. We're calling the deadline here on our parent, right? Which is basically this one. This is the parent, right? This is the parent. And we're calling deadline here, which basically with cancel, which basically says... it returns a cancel func. What am I doing? So we have a parent. And then we say... We check if there is a... Yeah, it checks the deadline. That's not true, actually, to be honest, because it checks it. It checks if it has a deadline, which is true because we're calling with context, which is a deadline. Where's could before? Not quite sure what this is. Oh, yeah, I see. It's just checking the time. I need to use my mouse here for once. And then mosquitoes. And then we return with cancel. With the parent. I think it should be fine. I think it should be fine. Although I'm not convinced.
Game over.
Man, it uses logs and all. This is nasty code, man. Not nasty, but it's complicated stuff. Not sure. I think we're fine. I think if we cancel, of course we're fine, right? Because if we cancel the parent context, the other context should be cancelled. We should test this actually. We should test that. What's going on, Ish? Help. I'm sticky. These mosquitoes, man, is dangerous. Func main, we're gonna say this, and this. So what I'm gonna do is... If I have this bastard, man, if I see him one more time, I'm gonna clap him. Alright, so we're gonna say a CTX real quick. We're gonna say CTX cancel. Actually, I'm gonna ignore this one. I'm gonna ignore him. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a context with deadline, right? That's what we do. So we're gonna take a simple context, a context background. We don't care, like this, and then we're gonna say time. Let's do some millisecondos. Millisecond. I'm gonna say time. I don't know. Let's take 700 or something, right? Not deadline, that sucks. We're gonna say timeout. It's the same thing, guys. It's the same thing. But deadline, you need to provide time after, and it's just I don't like it. So we have this context. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spin up. I'm gonna spin up a Go routine. Yeah. I'm gonna spin up a Go routine. I'm gonna say for. I'm gonna say here. I'm gonna wait for the CTX done, right? Because that's exactly what it does, right? So basically, this cancel will trigger done. And if done is get triggered by this context, right? If the done channel is getting closed by this from this context, then we are 100% sure it's not leaking, right? Because it's done, right? I see him flying, man, and he's teasing me. He knows what's up. He knows what's up. City's done. What's going on here? Go func this, right? Go func CTX done. I'm gonna panic here. Works. What's going on? Like this. Cheats. Right, so we're gonna... Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Fine. And then we're gonna make a new context, right? It's the same thing what we do here, right? So we make this context here, and then in spawn, we make a new context with a cancel. It's a context with cancel, which we could cancel it with wraps, which will make a parent, which will make this a child or a parent. I think it will make a parent from it. Maybe we are in trouble. I think it makes a parent from... Yeah, it makes a parent from it. Damn, I think we're we need to close that. It's a very important thing. And I really want to test it because I'm not 100% sure. Sure. CTX cancel is going to be a context with cancel. We're going to... Sometimes these... I'm going to... context with cancel. Yeah, that's fine. And a parent. Yeah, I think it's a parent. You can just cancel here, right? I'm going to time sleep here. Time... seconds. 5 seconds. Yeah. Yeah. How is this even a thing? Because we have a time duration. How is this even a thing? How can this even leak? How can this even leak? How can this even... Of course we have a duration here, right? I don't understand why they're telling us that it can leak. It can leak with a cancel, right? It can leak with a cancel. Here it can leak because if we never call cancel, this will leak. Right? This context will leak. I agree. Right? Here is important that very important that we need to cancel it. Because there is no automatic way to cancel it, but this with a duration, I think it's perfectly fine, right? Even though, let's make enough so I can test the seconds, right? Take 10, I don't care. It's not canceling. It's a parent. I miscalculated it, right? So it looks, yeah, it's a little bit confusing, right? Because it looks that if we say context with cancel and we take another context that we are the parent, but it's not true. This is the parent, right? The context we provide is going to be the parent, yada yada. So it's not going to get cancelled. But still this timeout will always cancel this. Will always clean up the go routine, the context, right? Correct me if I'm wrong here. TO81. We can try update task fields CTX and cancel with new values from with timeout func, but it can lead to errors because task routine already started. Yeah, it is true, and still then. I have an idea. To be honest, I have an idea. Why am I making it so difficult? Look at this. Because that I didn't even look at this. It's so easy, right? Because we have this context, we have a task func, and we could even say cancel here, right? We could say it's going to be a cancel func, context cancel func. Why? Because this spawn, this one, right? This is an internal spawn, right? It's something that's only being called by the library, by us, but will never be, it's private. So people importing the package, they will never see it. They will never use it. They will never smell it. They will never feel it. And they will never be depressed by it. So we could say, then we can say cancel. That's fine. And why am I have two screens open? We could say cancel here. We're gonna pass cancel in here, right? Right? Perfectly fine. The only thing is a problem is this one, cancel func. What is a cancel func? This is a context with background, and here we do a context with cancel. So basically means that we always gonna call. Yeah, I see what's going on. What's a cancel func again? Let me open up here so I can open up cancel func in my other screen. Cancel func. It's just a func. Look at this. This is just nothing. Can I do... I'm confused. Okay, I see. I was so confused by this type. What is this? It's just a type func. It's crazy. Anyway, so we have this cancel func for this spawn thing, because I was thinking we could actually say, why don't we cancel here? But the problem is then I want a cancellation for every single spawn, and we don't have it for spawn timeout, right? Okay, so now we have 2 cancels. I understand, but the thing is that the parent context. I'm gonna say parent cancel, right? What we're gonna do here is defer parent cancel, right? We're gonna say defer parent cancel, and then this cancel is for the user, which is basically returned by our cancel. Yes, guys, we have it. It's getting called. Is this one, right? Is this cancel? So that's what we can control, what the users can control. And what is this shenanigans here? Let's delete that. Yeah. So I think now we set, right? Right? Because we give this cancel into this the parent cancel. So we have the cancel here. We pass it in here. We defer it. Wait, that's gonna be a problem. That's a problem. This is a problem. This is a very big problem. I have an idea. We cannot do this because if we defer it here, guys, then if we defer it there, then the problem is that the parent, which is basically this with timeout, will instantly break, right? It will instantly break. Yeah, it will instantly break. It will instantly get cancelled. So we cannot do that. So instead of this parent cancel, we're gonna put this into what everybody was telling me in the chat, you guys, what I needed to do. And now I'm doing it because you're right. We're going to say the parent cancel. It's going to be the parent cancel, like what's going on. I cannot type, which basically means it's time to eat 20 grams of proteins. And that's very important. You'd say this is weird, but it's very, very important. You're going to say parent cancel right now. Like this, I'm going to say is a context cancel func. And then when are we going to close it? I think we can close it here, right? What do you think? I think that's it. Yeah, okay, we're canceling that stuff. I know. I think that's it. I think that's the play. I think that's the big IQ play. So we are returning an error from this guy here. Right? I don't need this recommendation anymore. I'm going to delete this. Delete that. Deadline exceeded. That's because we have this. Let me close this one and this one. Because we have a timeout for 200 milliseconds. Let's say 600. I think it's going to work perfectly fine now that we have these 2 cancel functions, because this parent is very important. We also cancel it because we tested it. It's a parent context, and the child context will not kill the parent context, which makes a lot of sense, to be honest. If I think, oh, my knees. Oh, I'm getting old. If I think about it, right? Why do you have for loop in the await? It should not be needed. Arda is back. What up, Arda? Why do we have a loop? Because I need to wait. Because I need to wait. I do a for select because task await. We waiting until either the CTX is done or we have response from the task itself. So it's very important that we do this for select here, because otherwise we will not await, right? This for will block, and it will either block on based. Is the task too slow and the context is cancelled automatically by the duration? Is the context cancelled by the user? And if none of that is, we need to wait until we get a response from that task. Right? So I'm pretty sure we need to do this, otherwise it will not work. Ah, you see. I see what you mean. Yeah, Arda, I see what you mean. I was thinking that we don't need to for select in general. Actually, you're right. Arda is right. Arda is completely right. We don't need this for loop because it's either way, right? Yeah, 100% right. Because normally I have this pattern I'm using in servers where we constantly need to select and then we need to reselect and reselect, but we don't need to do that here. Actually, amazing. This Arda once again with a very, very, very nice addition. You're right. Actually, you're right. But I was in my mind still that we need to. It's just a one-off, right? It's either we get this or we get this and we return. Although I'm not quite sure what for select will do. If it's select is fine. Select is actually the way to go, right? This is a very very nice sketch, Arda. Much appreciated, my man. Much appreciated. Right. May not go. How's life, Arda? By the way, are you still working or you do something else right now? Because I was talking with you. Maybe it's a private. Also, I don't know if I can say this, but I hope everything is okay with you and your family. Exactly, but then we might be careful with buffer channels. You might need to remove buffering. Well, the thing is, if I don't need to buffer my channels, I don't need to buffer them but people were replying to me that I need to buffer my channels and all that stuff for deadlocks and all that stuff. I know, but the thing is that as long as you can read from a channel, you will not have a deadlock, right? I don't think having a buffer channel here is gonna cause us trouble. Let me quickly think about this. So basically, having some vacation before some change in my work. Yeah, man. A little vacation is always good. And I'm thinking here, because in my opinion, actually, here, using an unbuffered channel, is actually a better option. Not that... It's the same option, in my opinion. Because... the reason why it's okay... and you will never have a deadlock is because where is my thingy? Or can I show you this one? Where do we get this motherfucker? Cancel. Yeah. So the reason why this is working is because we spawn. Listen, look at this. This is going to cause an issue, right? You know what I mean? If you do this, right? Look at this. Yeah, so this is the problem, right? So, because I think a lot of people are still not 100% okay with the difference between buffered and unbuffered channels. And I think what these guys are doing is basically they come into a deadlock, right? You see what I mean? So What happens with a lot of developers, right? So they see, oh shit, I have a deadlock. Oh yeah, but my channel is not buffered. So what they're gonna do is they go to their channel, right? Where is this guy? And I'm gonna exactly do what you do. So we're gonna say this. I'm gonna make this a buffer channel, right? And then I'm gonna run this again, right? You see? But the problem is, I'm confused. Oh, wait, I'm confused why this actually works. It doesn't matter. The thing is that if you don't use a buffer, right, that basically means that that this channel will block until it's get read from, right? A channel, an unbuffered channel, will always block until somebody is reading from it. But if you block on the channel, but if you make it in a Go routine, right? If you do it in a Go routine, then you cannot block. You know what I mean? You cannot block here. So this can your code can continue, and then you can hit the point where there is values being written to the channel, if that makes sense. So a lot of people don't understand that, and what they do is they buffer it, and a buffer channel doesn't block. You know what I mean? Until it's full. Mark, web dev courses TV. My SSD drive died this morning, so I keep you company while the drive clones. Yeah, man. But I'm almost ending the stream. I'm just gonna do a little bit talking, and then I'm dipping out. So wait, Mark, do you think I'm far off base thinking Go feels a lot like Unix pipe coding with a high level language? Yeah, maybe it is. It's basically it's inspired by that, right? Especially these channels, right? Especially these channels. So wait, Arda has a suggestion. The Go routine inside the spawn function, the writer routine. Yes, this one. Yeah, should also close the channel. Please insert some deferred close sponsor. Yeah, you're right. You're right, but yeah. In an ideal way, you should do this. That's true, but yeah, you're right. Wait. I'm reading Arda real quick his message because they make a lot of sense. I was not worried about the deadlock. Yeah. Me neither. But the thing is that I get a comment from somebody else that he said, yeah, you need to buff your channels, otherwise you can have a deadlock, and that's true. But that's because it's blocking, and you cannot write to it because it's blocking on the read. You know what I mean? And some people don't understand that, and that's why they buffer their channels unnecessary. They buffer their channels unnecessary, so it will not block on the read, and then it can write, and it works perfectly fine, right? Close the channel here. Wait, so we do go func. If we put this in, then we can close the channel, I guess. Is that true? Response chan. Right. That should work, actually. Wait, did I? May not go. Yeah, it's fine. Right. Ada, you're 100% right. What you're telling me is 100% right. Sorry that I did not close the channel. It makes a lot of sense. Arda is a high-value engineer, a high-value software engineer, that's for sure. It feels like the Unix philosophy. Yeah, it's true, Mark, because it's inspired by that. It's inspired by that. So Mark, I'm happy that you're here once again. Tell me a little bit more. How is your stream going, man? I feel that you're a little bit frustrated by the YouTube shenanigans. YouTube cock blocking us. But as far as I remember, I thought you had already a channel that was pretty successful, or what happened with that? You mentioned that. You mentioned that in some stream of you, and I tried to find it, but I couldn't. Or maybe I didn't try it hard enough. Commit. Whip. Should I do it? Because I'm gonna initial commit. Fuck it. I gave up the 15k channel to build a new one. Oh, you removed it completely. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. But I think, to be honest, the content you're providing, like JavaScript and all that stuff, I think it's very, very, very popular. So it should not be a big of a deal. It's more popular than systems programming. But although JavaScript, a lot of competition, systems programming, what we are doing, no competition. There are maybe a couple, but not that much. Are there any more questions, by the way, guys? If you have questions, concerns, if you feel sad, then tell me so I can make you happy. And where is my girl, actually? She should be here anytime soon. Ice Bear, what up, man? Oh, you're still awake. Ice Bear, thanks for watching. I see you tomorrow, my man. Arda, thank you for your kind words. Great feedback, the interactivity during the live coding sessions and the content. Please keep up the good work. I will join you soon, perhaps also here, if you like. Arda, man, no problem. Thanks for your good feedback, because you are basically putting the dots on the Y. That's fine. It's all easy to forget these things, very important things. Although this closed channel, it's a very good practice, so I cannot actually, I would discuss this because I know what's going, but you're right, we need to close it because we're done, right? Nobody's going to write anymore to this channel, legit nobody. So basically that we need to notify everybody that's trying to read from this channel, we need to notify them that it's done, game's over. But because we wrote this program, we wrote this whole application, we know that there is nobody's going to read from it anymore. It's a private channel, only we... But still need to close it. Anyway, keeping good practices. Thank you for that. Maybe we can have joint coding and thinking. Yeah, maybe, man. That would be nice. I can see you have a lot of knowledge in these things. You have a big brain, man. A big brain. Maybe even bigger than mine, right? Bigger brain than mine. I'm not that smart. I'm just good at acting. Pretending I'm smart, you know what I mean? That's the trick of life, man. You just need to be... I always tell people, tell my friends, and I tell them, I'm a chameleon. You can put me inside of a clubhouse full of bikers with tattoos, right? With tattoos, where's my thing? You see? Tattoos, bald hair, right? I can do my leather jacket on. You can put me into that clubhouse with all these bikers, Hells Angels, whatever, and it will be all fine. Right? It will be all fine. Nobody's gonna... This guy is normal. This is a biker. Right? Nothing wrong with this guy. But you can also put me into the board of a company, which I have, right? With the board of investors. You can put me there with a costume on and give me a presentation thing, and I will talk everybody under their seats. Right? So you can either put me into a clubhouse of bikers, and you can also put me in a round table, a board of directors on a company. Right? I can fit in two things, and nobody will see something wrong. That's the beauty of life. That's what you need to learn. You need to be a jack of all trades. You know what I mean? It does not mean that you need to be an expert in being a biker. I mean, right? Or you need to be an expert at a company or something. You just need to know enough. You need to know enough of things. You need to know enough of money, finance, marketing, sales, how the world operates. And if you really need to be an expert, then you can be one at the time that you need to be one. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. I was trying to video editing. I don't know about video editing. Never edited a video in my fucking life. Never. Never touched the program. Never installed the program. I do not know anything about it. But at a certain point of time, I was doing the stream shenanigans, and I'm making videos, so I need to do jump cuts and all that and all that stuff. So I turned into a video editing specialist. You know what I mean? That's the thing. I cannot. I'm not a graphical creator. I can't. I never used full. I cannot make these things. But now I'm basically a professional, not a professional, but an expert in creating thumbnails. I have some good thumbnails. Let us be honest. You see? So you need to be one if you need to be a specialist or an expert at the time you need to be one, right? Closing the channel is also good against resource like correct. Live is better. What's going on here? Alright guys, I don't know questions anymore. Don't forget, if you're not subscribed, press the subscribe button or ring that notifications bell or whatever. You know the shebang, you know what's going on. Everybody's telling it, so I don't need to do it, but just do it. And join the Discord if you want. Very highly recommended to do that. And Pedro Pacola, yeah, you're late, man. I'm just dipping out. I'm dipping out, eating 20 grams of protein, and then maybe watching some cheap dopamine, and then I go to bed so I can provide more goodness tomorrow. All right. Yes, like usual, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of the club of the high value engineers, software engineers, right? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in tomorrow or in another video. Bye bye.